Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Our energy and consciousness, being worthy of love, is just who we are. When we few things that the civilization must discover, whether this lifetime or the next. Faith, if I look at this lifetime, when we accept the fact that we are lovable just the way we are without having to change a thing, it makes it easier for others to love us. People can feel it when you love yourself. People can feel it. And it feels like a warm, welcoming invitation from the heart. So I invite you to imagine that everyone loves you exactly the way you are right now. Take the leap in consciousness, try it out. You'll start feeling that it is true and begin manifesting more loving experiences all through your day. Now, this universe does want us to experience more and more and more love every day. Believe it or not, this is one of the greatest purposes of this life, or any life for that matter, to let in as much love as you possibly can. There is not a shortage of love in this universe. The greatest love is already here and all around us now. So it is a choice that we make, and we get too filled up with programming. Could be emotional programming. There's many different kinds of programming from other people's thoughts. So you can open your heart. It's a decision. A lot of people are afraid to. Even if you open it up just a tad and allow warm, cozy energy to come in, you can find it easy to allow yourself to receive love. Because it doesn't matter, okay, when you're programmed a certain way, do you believe a certain way? Very logical, right? Now, we can find it easy to allow ourselves to receive love because we are a good person. We have a good heart, and we have good intentions. But you must believe this. Believe these things, because deep, deep, deep down, we know they are true. One quote from Osho, amongst many, this one is very spot on, is the highest phenomenon is when love is a state and not a relationship. Not that you are in love, but that you are love. Now the vibration of love is a powerful thing to focus on. We focus on all kinds of things. Depends on, how many of us are under the guidance of the ego mind. What we focus on is what the ego mind wants us to focus on. And the vibration of love, it is the ever-expanding force of energy that is continuously saying yes to this life. It loves dwelling on the positive aspects of life and having compassion for the negative. The vibration has a soft energy about it. And somehow, in the right situations, it has the most fierce, courageous strength as well. You'll know. People say, well, how would I know? You'll know you are in it when everything feels right, light, and good. And these feelings are deeply grounded in your body. The vibration of love is that which allows us to deeply relax and naturally exist in a sweet, vulnerable place that is empowered, open to receive and free. It is not controlling nor resisting life in any way. It is appreciating, accepting, and approving of what is. Real love is eager to embrace others and listen to what is really going on beneath the surface. It only knows gentleness and kindness, welcoming with an open, accepting heart the other's anxiety, sadness, and all of their fears. Love is not afraid of anything. It is like the sun, who is just meant to shine bright and give its warmth, light, and life to this world. Now, when we say yes to the vibration of love, we're saying yes to the relaxing, healing energy of acceptance. Number one, accepting oneself exactly as you are in this very moment. We are choosing to accept ourselves exactly as we are. Where we are in our life. And allowing any negative critical ideas that we have about ourselves are okay too. Love welcomes all, loves all, sees the good in all. It takes in those hard, desperate thoughts of unworthiness, fault, lack, and limitation, and treats them like little sweet orphan animals who just need a warm home and a big cozy hug. When our negative thoughts know they are okay, that they are lovable too, they will relax, soften, and let go. There is something so deeply beautiful when we say yes with our hearts to the vibration of love. Something magical happens inside the center of our being. It is as if the soul of our life catches on fire and starts blazing its way through life with unstoppable pizzazz, joy. We feel totally alive, turned on by life, and excited about interacting with everyone and everything. We want to share this incredible experience with everybody because it's too huge to contain. Practice focusing on the vibration of love. Practice feeling that yes, in your body, to energy of love. Say yes in each moment you can to letting in more and more love. You can do it. It's super fun. Look inside yourself. Be honest. Find out what love feels like for you. Trust your body. Know that it cannot lie. I dare you to open your heart right now to letting in more love than may feel normal or comfortable. Expand your old perceptions of yourself. Step into a new you. Welcome in this new being who is ready in every moment to welcome in life. Letting in more and more joy. Give life the biggest yes that you've got inside. You're worth it. We all are. When we can get centered in real devotion to this vibration, we will discover the most amazing, ridiculously beautiful, awesome life we could ever dream of. Even though we are love, we want love. Isn't that interesting? We are love, but then a lot of us are wanting love because we don't know who and what we are. This is the pinnacle. It is the primer to New Earth. And what comes with love? Because you are love, and then you discover that you are love, what comes with that? Well, one of the most powerful things that we can do is master the art of forgiveness. It's not easy. I don't believe that any of us, period, I find it, real easy to forgive certain things about ourselves or others. It's almost like doesn't it at times feel like you're in like a tug of war? Somebody might have done something, or somebody that you're around just absolutely every day rubs you the wrong way. Every day. Okay? And so you could sit in your quiet time with yourself and say, I forgive them. Now, it may seem it's something that we don't focus on. Just like love, we don't focus on it. And it's always with us. It's love for ourselves. Once we have love for ourselves, and I mean really, truly love for ourselves, then we can have love for others. If we don't discover who and what we are, how are we going to do to others as we would like to have done to ourselves? Can't. And so you get into the habit, okay? You're with yourself and you just go through your life. Way back, go as far back as you want, and then you'll come across people and things that are unfinished with yourself, okay? And you say, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. just saying those words. You'd be surprised at what happens. Because they'll come up, they'll bubble up throughout your life on occasion. Doesn't matter if you were 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 20, 30, 40, 50, and on. But they'll bubble up. And gives you the opportunity to say, I forgive, forgive, forgive. I forgive this. And then if things in your past bubble up, you say those are all dead and gone, and they are. You acknowledge the fact that's all dead and gone. And it disappears. It really does. Because this is a way of letting go, discovering the fact that you are love. It's way beyond romantic love. And that once you discover that, and that you love yourself, then you move into forgiveness. And when you probably have all experienced this. I don't believe any of us are exempt from it. But when, let's say that you're carrying a grudge against anybody, no matter when in your life, whether it's big or small. What happens is that we're clinging to a heavy shield around our heart that's weighing us down and negatively impacting us on many levels. By continuing to be angry or upset with somebody else because they have wronged you, only hurts you in the long run. I had someone say to me just recently, I hate them. Ooh, whatever you do, don't allow yourself to get into that vibrational frequency of saying you hate. You say, I dislike. I don't care for it. But that word, it really is not good at all. It really isn't. And to use it is even more detrimental. Remember, like attracts like. And when we hold on to feelings, how someone has hurt us, whatever it may be in that arena, so to speak, we're anchoring our energy in the past and attracting another victim-like scenario in the future. Now, if we don't learn how to forgive and to let go of the pain that's been done, it doesn't allow us to be fully open, available, alive, and present to this very divine moment. Our being becomes tight, protected, and contracted when we cannot forgive people. You ever had that? You ever experienced any of that? The quicker we can learn to let go, the less time we spend in pain and suffering. Holding on to a grudge, which a lot of us have done from the past with anyone, only hinders our ability to become a positive, open, loving being who is manifesting the life of our dreams. Now, the word forgiveness is derived from the word to give. Forgiveness is a gift of freedom and healing. When we give it to another person, we actually are giving this to ourselves. The act of forgiving another may not free the other person if they do not accept it, yet it will definitely liberate your energy. Even if the other person holds on to the past grudge all the way to their grave, you can still forgive them for not knowing how. Many of us do not know how to forgive. We just don't. It's our programming. We're not blaming the programming. It's just the truth. It's our programming. And our lack of understanding of who and what we are. Our direction is simply to let the past go. Right? And trust that everything is always in perfect divine order. Even if it seems like it's in shambles. This universe never makes mistakes, ever. It doesn't. It's how we perceive things. It's how we've been taught. It's how we've been programmed. Every act of harm unleashed is pure stimulation for our soul's awakening. Every act of harm unleashed is pure stimulation for our soul's awakening. The pain makes us wake up, recalibrate our life, and adjust our sails towards a bigger freedom. The judgments we tend to inflict upon ourselves force us to love ourselves even deeper. Many of us carry wounds. The wound inside us creates a womb where new life can be formed. We must choose, right? Choose to give birth to something inside us that is more loving, healing, and creative. We must choose to also forgive ourselves for anything that is less than love. Does it make any sense not to? When we do forgive ourselves, we instantly feel a great lightness that opens our chest and spreads all throughout our body. It is a powerful path to healing that is always available to every one of us to choose in every moment of our lives. Every day, we have the option to let go of our pride and let in the love, or hold on to tighter and be right about something unfair or wrong. If we want to become a more sensitive, humble, and deeply loving human being, we must choose to learn the response of forgiveness and compassion. Softening our ego is perhaps the most empowering and enlightening action we all can do, as it puts us directly in contact with our soul. Now, if you are ready to experience this, then I'll share some more with you. Recognize your attachment to your story. When you hold on to a grudge, any of us hold on to a grudge, we are actually holding on to the story about what happened, along with heavy feelings attached to our story. When we fully feel those heavy feelings that arise when we think about our story, we then can move through them and underneath them. Be curious about what is there underneath your feelings, as it will be something you never thought of before. Notice how you played your part in the drama and take responsibility for the role you stepped into. When you understand what the payoff of benefit you received by playing this role, no matter how horrible it was, you can then let go of the pattern completely. We all have repressed feelings in some way, shape, or form. So you release those repressed feelings. Those are the ones, that we stick in the closet. Closet starts out pretty empty, right? We stick those in there. We stick them in there, forget about it, shut the door. When someone mistreats or hurts us, we may either express this pain or repress it. So we ignore it. We ignore the pain. We shove it in that closet. Now, if you were taught to repress your feelings, put on a brave face, go on with our life, you'll have many heavy feelings inside you rotting away at your core. All repressed feelings fester deep inside of us and cause us to continue to carry a burden about this life, relationships, people, and this world. First step in forgiving is letting go of these heavy, heavy, heavy feelings, allowing them to turn into lighter feelings. There's many techniques that can help you release pent-up emotions from the past. One simple way you can do this on your own is emotional release journaling. You have a journal, right? Get them anywhere. They aren't expensive. Just write about the past event without censoring it. Write from your most emotional place. And keep writing until you have emptied everything out. Do not read it. Don't read it once you have finished. Wait a few days or weeks. Really do, too. There's some people, okay, I'll wait a few days or weeks, right? But they start peeking in and they read it, okay? Do not read it once you have finished. Wait a few days or weeks before you read it. You can burn what you have journaled and proclaim out loud, I let this go. If your repressed emotions are very strong or feel overwhelming, then do it a little bit at a time. Not all at once. Do it in pieces. What we're doing is we are reprogramming ourselves. This is what this is. Continuously choose forgiveness. In every moment, we have the opportunity to choose forgiveness. Once we release that holding on to the past only harms us, we can consciously choose to let it go instead of returning to resentment. Haven't you met people? For some reason, it's not like you know them, okay? It's like in your everyday travels. You might go to a place or you're out doing things and you come across somebody. And it's like everything is horrible. They're highly resentful. You can tell when they talk with you, that you're going, wow, what's going on with this one? They don't like themselves. They've had traumas and issues and stuff, and it's just all collected. They keep it, and it just rots inside of them. They keep it. Once you understand and release this, that holding on to the past only harms you, you can consciously choose to let it go instead of returning to resentment. Choosing forgiveness is, for all of us, a constant process. This means we will always choose to feel feelings of lightness, freedom, and healing from the past event. Once we have decided to forgive someone or ourselves, visualize the person is in front of you and say it out loud to them. I forgive you completely for what happened. I love you and thank you for the lesson. Please forgive me for what I've done. Notice how it feels just reading this proclamation in your body. By stating this message out loud, you create an instant energetic shift in your body. The person can be on the phone or in the room or simply there in your mind. Now, when you do this in your mind, the secret is that it must feel real to you. You will be amazed at how this declaration starts opening up your entire world in ways you've never dreamed were possible. You'll soon see how it sparks the manifestation of more positive and desired experiences in your life. The first step for all of us is to understand, and it's not, see, this is all connected. It's a step-by-step process. Someone says, like a whirlwind, I'm going to do it all at once. Highly recommend that you do it one step at a time. It's like if you have a bunch of steps, right? And you know that in order to have a safe footing on those steps, say they have ice on them, but you want to get to the top of those steps fast, okay? What normally will happen if you do that without clearing the ice away? You're going to slip, most likely, and hurt your body. This is what a lot of us do. Now, some of us will say, no, there's no reason for me to be in a rush at all. So I'm going to clear the ice off these steps, one step at a time. Then I know when I put my foot on that step, I'm not going to slide all over the place. A lot of us won't clear those steps. We just try to traverse them and just, I'll get to the top. I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to clean these steps. And see, we're talking about our programming. This is an analogy of the programming that we've been given. All the wonderful things, okay, will come flooding in when we decide to reprogram ourselves. It isn't, and then, it depends on your perception of it. Oh, wow, that's just ridiculous. What the heck am I supposed to do then? Well, when you're deeply grateful for exactly the way you are, that's the first step. Stay in deep gratitude 24/7. It's all programming us. This is what we're doing for ourselves. Okay? Like love, the love that we are, the forgiveness that we are. These were not part of our programming. Okay? we kind of touched on them at times as we grew, but they weren't front and center. So by doing this, we discover deeper and deeper and deeper who we are in these bodies, that we're pure consciousness, that we're the God. We're the kingdom of God, the heaven. We are omnipotently supreme, powerful beings that never die. These are all true facts, period. It's not hearsay, it's not smoke and mirrors, it's not made up. It is a fact. And it is for us, as a civilization, just to embrace that. It's a decision we make. And a lot of people say, well, it's scary for them to do that. It's actually scary for them to decide to go within and meet all parts of who and what you are. And also the fear of actually meeting the God that you are within. You see? We've been programmed to fear the unknown rather than to embrace it. Walk right up to it and give it a full body hug. Not what we do now, see. That's another thing. We're so distracted. And we're so inhibited from that distraction through society that we're afraid to give anybody a full body hug. Isn't that amazing? And yet, the essence of who we are is deep eternal love. Isn't that amazing? And I'm telling you, when you discover for yourself, because you will eventually, we all do eventually, when you discover for yourself that you are love, then you won't have any fear of love. It's huge. It's a huge release. And you won't fear if you go up and you hug somebody, especially around this time of year, obviously. What happens? Well, you do a fist bump, or, you do the chest bump, and it's how we've been programmed through society. Instead of just being love and hug somebody because you are love and they're love. It's a great feeling. Because, see, then you begin to identify, recognize yourself as love. When you choose to meditate on the nature of the mind, this is part of our reprogramming. You may take months of internal investigation, closely watching how the mind works, why it thinks, what it thinks, how it tends to repeat itself. You soon begin to understand the great manifesting mystery of this life on a more intimate and spiritual level. You notice that every day, no matter what you do, your mind continues on this deep, relentless search for truth, love, joy, pleasure, and happiness. No matter how satisfied you are, that day, hour, a minute before, the mind returns to its old habit of yearning for something more. There's only one direction it wants to go, to evolve, grow, expand, improve, and learn how to find ways to become more satisfied. Then you begin to realize that your mind even wanted to understand itself better, thinking that if it found a richer understanding of itself, then this would finally lead to more happiness and real satisfaction. This is how convoluted our minds are. It will believe anything. You also may notice that when you felt sad, lethargic, depressed, or just wanted to give up on manifesting your dream life, the mind still continued its perpetual search for some form of happiness just on another level. The more often that you'll find sitting back from the mind and watching it, you'll realize how deeply programmed it is, and that there's really nothing that can be done about it. The mind is on a sacred holy quest devoted to this grand divine search. At the core program, it cannot be interested in being content, relaxed, rested, or supremely at peace. It prefers to be entertained by something interesting, deep, sparkly, rich, tempting, or maybe an idea that would make it feel loved, special, or important. What are we reprogramming? What are we reprogramming? Ask yourself that question. Our mind does not have the capacity to rest forever in a state of happiness, because if it did, we would not evolve. Think about it. What if the mind was totally satisfied? What would happen to our world? Would we even look deeper into this question at all? Would we care about anything of any real meaning in this life? And if so, why would we? Throughout our lives, our entire lives, this seeking mechanism is one machine we cannot turn off, nor would we want to. We simply have to be deeply aware that this perpetual seeking machine is always running. The divine design of the mind is perfect, and we simply need to understand its perfection if we are to really enjoy life and find our spiritual journey here. We need to understand first that desire is not the cause of suffering. Rather, it's our attachment to desire which holds us to the state of anxiety. To be continuously wanting, wishing, and thinking is utter hell. To be able to rest, relax, and enjoy the radiant, healing, golden energy from the great spiritual light from within is absolute bliss. Our mind has been embedded for centuries longer with this ancient, unsatisfied program for one very wonderful reason. A great creativity and manifesting fire gets ignited when we believe the grass is greener, richer, and softer, and more lush in the neighbor's yard. We know that the mind can get crazy. Start thinking the neighbors must be smarter, happier, and more enlightened because they have greener grass. Chances are high that the neighbors don't actually have greener grass than you. But you can't tell that truth to the seeking, desiring mind. Excuse me. The good news is that an enormous fire of desire is lit when we see what we just don't have at all. What we see that we just don't have at all. The mind is a genius at believing whatever it wants to believe is true. Have you ever met somebody, no matter what you say, do, okay, or even try to prove, they believe what they believe? I know we've all experienced that, even in the last few years. They're going to believe what they believe, period, no matter what you do. Now, the mind, it can only see a fraction of the whole truth. It cannot contain the entire universal truth all the time. It would be out of a job if it had that knowledge. It's a master at inventing super creative stories about our limitations in this world, which fill us up with this amazing experience called insecurity. And these wonderful insecure feelings are perfectly designed to push us onto our spiritual path. They provoke us to dig deeper. So we stop functioning in automatic robot mode and find our real purpose for being alive. Our insecurity causes us to drop the mind game, so we start stoking our real spiritual fire, unleashing our deepest motivation, our highest inspiration, and our richest creativity inside. Unless you become a Buddha. Buddha means enlightened being, the enlightened one. Unless you become a Buddha, you have not lived at all, because you will not know the great poetry of life, the great music of existence. You will not know the celestial celebration that goes on and on and on. You will not know the dance of the stars. The bliss, this bliss, is for you. All these flowers, all these songs, and all these stars are for you. You are entitled to miracles. Osho. We were all born to evolve, expand our consciousness, and eventually become awakened Buddhas. And like I said, a Buddha simply means one who has stopped sleeping, one who is aware, self-realized, and living fully in the now, the enlightened one. It's perhaps the easiest and most natural way we can experience this life. Yet, it means we have to unlearn everything we believe to be the reason why we are here. Unlearn it. To stimulate the enlightened path in our lives, we need to choose to create more space and room to grow. We need to feel the lack of something and experience the great emptiness that is all around. This empty feeling is always available, inherent within each desire that comes from the mind. To reach the enlightened state, we must choose to dive into the mind and let it go. We must let the mind believe that the neighbor's grass is greener than our own, and realize how ridiculous it is to be comparing grass in the first place. We must notice that all the places in our life where we are comparing ourselves with others, with people we look up to, saying that they have something we don't, which they don't. We must allow the mind to be brimming with jealousy, full with desire, so much that it implodes into this fantastic empty universe that is exploding with life. Now, if we allow the mind to do what it does, it will eventually invent some fantastic, new, organic, healthier way to grow better grass, and one day have greener grass than the neighbors. With a glorious new imagined goal and destination to be entertained by, the mind can provoke us to expand our consciousness, playing its endless games within games inside of itself just for the pure discovery of all the many multi-dimensional joys and pleasures of being alive. What else did you want to do with your time here on Earth? I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return, close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. You can let go of the steering wheel of your life. It's very comforting to know that divine intelligence is your personal chauffeur throughout your entire life. It's true. You are always being guided down the right road, whether your mind believes it or not. You just have to pay closer attention to that natural state of trust that knows where your heart is leading you to go. That white-knuckled grip that your ego had on the wheel will loosen on its own accord. And yes, you can trust life. It feels so good for the body, and you'll enjoy the new situation coming into your future so much more. Through relaxation and trust, you'll be able to savor every moment of the ride. What's it like to trust life more than you ever have before? Trusting life will support you. It is the only way to relax and be fully alive so you can enjoy this amazing and awesome human adventure. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Monday, December 18, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. And remember that you are love.